Yeah, thanks, Hammer. Well, it is multicultural round, as you can see here, the nice imprinted artwork on the footy. And for those of you at home that can't read Hindi, a lot like myself, we actually have it written on the AFL ball today. That says Sharon in Hindi. So what of all we have there for multicultural round. The rain is starting to come. The starting subs are Scharenberg for the Pies and Wiley for the Blues.
So the Saturday afternoon journey is underway. Two rivals. Skipper Murphy heads to the city end. No one at home initially. Tuvey desperately and brilliantly in the end to Pendlebury, who just drifts on through. Back to Williams. Pendlebury back onto the left. Here's a chance for side bottom. Ball skidding initially. Over the top. Chance for Greenwood. In front of Cripps. Pigeon scatter. Swan just cruises on through. Here's Crisp. Well, here's an opportunity. Darcy Moore in the iridescent wheels. Varco tries to keep it in. I think he drifted over, he did. So Ben Reid starts inside the forward 50.
Travis Varco, been a very good pickup. He's played some terrific football this season. Boundary throw in. Inside the attacking 50. Grundy for Collingwood wins it down. Doherty didn't have the football. Cripps goes in. Greenwood battles after it. And a whistle. The umpires this afternoon, Du Bois, Schmidt and Jeffrey. This is umpire Schmidt, 40 metres out from goal. Cruiser and Reid over the top row knocks it down. Varco missed it. Doherty in trouble. That's holding the footy. Oh, wow. Well, I don't know, Tim.
Just watch this again carefully. I mean, this is what they are classifying as the sling tackle. There's not much in it, though, is there, when you talk about it being an effective tackle, legitimate tackle, and a sling tackle? I mean, he was able to brace his fall then.
The arm was free, wasn't it?
Yep.
Good to see Cruiser getting his hands on the ball early. Big match last week against Goldstein, so he'll be looking to bounce back today.
So the youngster in Cripps, the Western Australian. So much discussed about his year. He's heavily fancied for a rising star medal. Jesse Hogan has got something to say about his weekly performances. Outstanding. Here's that tackle again for solo on Doherty. Well, if it's confusing for Den, it's confusing for all. He's
I don't know about that.
I'll speak on your behalf. Langdon knocks it forward. Here's a chance. Just cruising on through. White just whacks it to space. Bouncing ball. Walker didn't read it too well. Chance for Tuvey to go back and just contemplate. Now to Sinclair, one of the ins this afternoon. Out of side. Swan in his unusual gait, but with his normal brilliance, just traps the ball and then heads in the Varco direction. Moore gets front spot, this time against Jamison. Doherty and Varco, no one can win that ball. Buckley taken in the tackle. In the end, Doherty read it well. Evades Langdon. Left foot, only okay for Bell. Couldn't take it cleanly. Varco could. Steal side bottom, by hand inside to Fasolo. He looks to the top of the square. Waiting Holman. Oh, Reid. This would be some sort of a start. The nerves right now would be high. They would be settled with a major.
That's where it started, Hammer, that clean pick up there by Varco. I like the idea of playing him in that front six. And this could be, as you rightly stated, the dream start for Reid.
The calf, the quad, a three-car pile-up at one stage. So few games, a minor score, but his first kick of the afternoon, and he's back on the big stage. Good to see.
Yeah, bit tentative, but to be expected. So Tui to bring it in. First score to the Magpies. Very short, low down Murphy. Tested him. Through the carnage, he's been very good this season. Murphy, couple of bounces, runs to the opposite pocket and drives it up towards the wing. Marsh in front. Walker stepped past him, pushing the back.
He's a good size, Marsh, isn't he?
Yes. Walker. Interesting career he's had. He kicks it up towards the wing. On his best days, he's very good. This is White from Subiaco in Western Australia. Centering ball. Cruiser takes the mark. 50 metres out. Going back is Casbolt. And Casbolt will mark about 30 metres out and should kick a goal, although he makes things interesting. I reckon he's had more advice than shots at goal this season. Let's see what he can do.
He's changed his action on a number of occasions. Sav Rocker has been working with him.
A goal, and they'll be 5 points in front. Levi Casbolt, and he comes. Kick is on the way. It's going right to left, but I think it's okay. It is. First goal of the game then to the Blues. So they got out the back there. Walker's mark a key in that on the wing, and then the ball coming in from Cruiser. And Casbolt meters in the clear.
Yeah, no, he had a lot of space to work in there too. Dennis just sort of slipped out the back into that space, and Cruiser's been really good since his re-entry into AFL footy this year. He's become one of the better big men in the competition, despite the fact that we often talk about Casbolt's inaccuracy. He's now kicked 23-12 for the year, which is a pretty good return.
So the double cobra from Levi Casbolt after young Levi took the grab last week and made the double cobra famous. And for all of the knocks on Levi Casbolt in his goal kicking, he's now kicked 23 goals, 12. So he's been reasonably accurate, but we all make fun of the way he goes about it.
I think there's another column in there, though.
Well,
out of bounds on the full.
Completely missed.
Yes.
How many's in that column?
Well, I'll get
10,
Swamp,
12.
our Colac resident who researches for us, but 23 goals, 12 reads.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Okay.
I like it. He's the future in many respects, Casbolt. Key position player. Talking about that before the game. They lack them. He's on their list. Cruiser kicks it out only as far as Maynard. Forward of the wing. Sends it down towards the pocket. Reed hands to it, couldn't hang on. Crisp in trouble. Confronted by Jamison, and down he goes. The boundary throw in. 5 points the margin. Carlton on top. Saturday football under partly cloudy skies at the MCG. Cruiser up. Only as far as side bottom. Pendlebury. A lot of the football already. Sends it down towards the kickoff line. In from the side. Terrific mark taken by Henderson.
So the boy from Birregurra to the outer side, Simpson, has to deal with the ball that doesn't want to assist him, and well, sloppy stuff from the Blues, but Henderson so much discussed about his whereabouts in 2016. Geelong has been heavily chasing a man that grew up not far from where Simmons Stadium is, Carazzo. Little one over to Boakhurst, and now Simpson hemmed in to Bell, back to Cripps. Well done. Andreas Everett, who's been kicking goals at the other end of the ground, runs into trouble. Here's a chance for Grundy. Little give from Pendlebury on the up was good. Crisp inside. Langdon looks. Couldn't go there. Has to go to the outside, and Simpson does a good job. Almost always the long sleeve for Cade Simpson. He has been a warrior for this side over many, many years. Game 238 this afternoon, year 13. Langdon, well done. Sinclair. Run to steal side bottom, missed his target. Here's the debutant in Marsh, back to side bottom. Just pauses for a moment, misses his kick, doesn't often do it. Marsh, Sinclair, inside, chance for Greenwood, went searching for Pendlebury, missed him. Carazzo had to do a good job, did a good job, and then Henderson sweeps it to Simpson. Little one on the outer side to Walker, might get it back and does.
Simpson needs a bounce, gets it. Langdon tracks him. This kick into the path of Everett. Had a good season. Confronted by Marsh. Backs off. Put himself under pressure, really. Simpson with ample time. Now, he gets ambitious as well. Cripps on the bounce. Well, they've taken a lot of time to advance this footy. Everett. Eventually, Marsh knocked it down to his own advantage. Gets boot to ball. 10 metres away. Scrappy stuff. Carazzo. In comes Bell. That's a strong tackle. And again, there's a slinging action involved, but that's tackling, surely.
And what's the difference really with this tackle as opposed to the one we saw up the other end of the ground? Like, there's really no difference. In fact, Bell probably didn't have his arms in to break the fall.
Quite right.
Well, Smith taken on by Varco, just got rid of it, ends up with Tui. He's a beautiful kick of the football, decides to go to the top of the square. Casbolt caught behind. Frost, wonderful. Well done, Jack Frost. Swan, Pendlebury. Have a look at Pendlebury. Just draws the opponent, gives it to the youngster, gets it back again now to Swan, who comes to the outer side. Billy Elliott in the unfashionable black boots, trying to bring them back into play. Crisp, just held up by Henderson. Well, terrific kick. Swan just floated to half forward, and the ball was perfect for him.
Farko.
Varco was thought about, but in the end, Swan felt sorry for the Blues and gave it back to Buckley.
Murphy drives it down towards half forward. Walker, fickle bounce, unlucky. Turvey outnumbered. Murphy did well, followed up. He was the man who had the ball on the wing. Terrific by the skipper.
I reckon we've seen 3 smother, well, count that as a smother as well, but 3 or 4 of those already from Carlton players, and that really says to me that their concentration around the ball is spot on in the early part of this game.
Boundary throw in. Working in front, Grundy. Wood over the top. Bell brushes aside Pendlebury, runs to the 50, sends it out of bounds on the full. Saw a lot of men on the mark last week touching the footy and generally around the ground as well. I think there's something in footy at the moment where players are trying to kick it at a lower trajectory.
Yep, they are, because they're trying to actually slot the ball into narrower spaces, and therefore they can't give it the elevation. You're quite right, Dennis.
Big fly from Grundy, had a few Blues to deal with. Tui, he read it well, but Elliott knew where he was going. Quickly to Curnow, who's going to fly for the Blues. Cripps used his body well. Henderson had it knocked away. Marley Williams comes crashing through. Walker gets left for the football. Onto the left touch. You heard the umpire. Adams was the man that touched it. Frost again does the defending. Bell gets a foot onto it and dribbles it through.
He's going to check on whether that came off the boot or the knee, I think.
Okay, umpire's call will be behind. Can we just check to make sure it wasn't kicked above the knee?
Score review. Umpire's call was behind and it came off above the knee. Can you please check?
Review underway.
Okay. It came off his knee.
So the point of the knee.
Yep.
Review completed.
It's a point.
Confirmed behind. Ball has hit the knee.
Well, that's what the goal umpire called. Good vision.
Yeah, good call. Marley Williams with the football. Carlton lead it by 6. Williams virtually straight down the middle. Moore is the target. Over the top, Wood slaps it away. Elliott, quick hands. Pendlebury, Varco into the path of Sidebottom, looking for a free. Plenty of help around him. All Collingwood under pressure though. Gets the kick off. Works out okay. Langdon, forward of left centre wing, stops. Pendlebury, so much of the football, kicks it down towards half forward. That's a contest. Swan got his hands to it. Wood tries to wrench it away, and we'll have a ball up.
You say Pendlebury's so much of the football. 8 touches already. We've only played 12 minutes.
Most of them have sort of been back behind centre, so probably Carlton won't be minding that so much.
Wood knocks it. A couple of young pies jump up in the air. Elliott one, Adams the other. Here's a young Blue. Boakhurst did a good job. Stood up in the tackle. Knocked it onto Simpson. Bell inside to Cripps. Back to Bell. Continues to roll on. Now inside to the skipper. He's got a problem in Williams. Gets away from Williams. Over the top again to Bell. Inside 50. He's kicked it poorly. The last off his knee. The next out of bounds on the full.
Well, he's had 3 terrible kicks really, but and that's the worst part of his game. He's got great desire, he's got great aggression, he's got brilliant endurance, and he gets around the ground. He can win the ball, but it's just the finishing part of his game that really lets him down.
There's Maynard out of the back pocket. Outside the 50. Moore with a big leap. Hands to it. Couldn't hang on. Pendlebury clever. Blair creates his own space into the path of Sidebottom. Nice bounce. Kicks it just beyond the wing. Reid comes up. He's got the football in front of the Great Southern Stand. Drives it down towards the 50. It's 2-on-1. Collingwood's way. The solo so good early last week. He finished with 3 goals. He'll kick from about 50. Right on the numbers, I would suggest. The man on the mark is a little deeper. He's got a powerful leg for solo.
Pretty fierce tackling and pressure down here, guys. Adams has just come off. He got smashed over the other side of the ground, so I'll keep an eye on him. Looks to be a right quad.
Alex. Kick is on the way. Way offline. Wood should mark it. Didn't try to. Slaps it towards the boundary. Blair goes after it. Kept it alive. Elliott deep in the pocket. Spots a man back towards the middle. Crowd arrives as the football did. Holman taken high.
That's really poor play there by Wood. Dennis called it accurately. He had both hands on the ball. He knocked it away with both hands. I mean, he should have been able to kill that ball with a mark. And he just kept it alive at a dangerous part of the ground. Great kick.
Reid was the tackler that gave The Blues back the ball, but good to see him involved in the contest, getting physical early. Chance for Williams to get around Everett. He does. Thought about going to Jonathan Marsh and then fires the ball in the Swan direction. Unorthodox, but what a player he has been for this football club.
Stay out. Come on.
Well, who's going to fly here for the Pies? This time it's Reid again, front spot against a man that had an opportunity to knock it away, but strong hands from Ben Reid.
That's a great sign, isn't it, for Collingwood? Maybe too late in the season for them, but this is just a really strong contested mark. Just using his body against a bloke who's very strong in the air too, Rowe. Last time he was really tentative with his kick. He just needs to just go back and put the boot right through the ball.
Well done and welcome back. And game 100 starts with a fine 15 minutes. So a minor score moments ago, a major, and 357 days, as we said, between outings for Collingwood in this senior side, and so much pondering, I assume, in rehabilitation. Will my body allow me to get back to the big stage again?
And then those doubts, they just start to build in your mind. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter how long you've been playing the game. You start to doubt yourself. So that's been enormous for his early confidence to be able to get his hands on the ball and then to go back and kick that goal. There's a lot of frustration of over 12 months just coming out in that one kick there. Great to see the players getting around him as well.
Scores a level. Carranza went to ground. Grundy picked it up. Second effort, tried to soccer it. Didn't go very far. White tackled by Grundy and Greenwood. That's holding the ball.
You dragged it in first, Simon.
Umpire just 10 metres away. Grundy. Oh, gee whiz. That's very casual. Greenwood. Grundy, Sinclair back in the team. Bounces one down towards half forward. Simpson clever. Henderson, White, Simpson. Downfield. Now advantage has been paid. Boakhurst has stopped. Oh, gee. Simpson. This is a work in progress as the ball goes down towards right half forward and Everett. Everett bounces one. The fast leading Walker. Back goes Williams. Tidies up. Goes to the outer side and Crisp.
There's one over the top. Swan, he's found himself with not too much to worry him, and Adams just cruises into space too. Now he looks inside 50. This time it's Darcy Moore.
Well, that's a turnover caused by terrible field kicking by Carlton. It's just been really sloppy in the early part of this game. They go from one end of the ground to the other. Walker should have been going back having a shot for goal. Look at that kick. I mean, that's just a simple kick for an AFL player. Misses the target. They turn the ball over and they take it the length of the ground. That's a really strong mark under extreme pressure to Moore.
So Crisp to Swan to Adams to Darcy Moore. 5 next to his name, all in one game against the Dogs. Well, nothing doing.
Dennis, what's going on out there?
It's one of those things, Tim. Swirling breeze covers a multitude of sins.
They're limp.
The flags on top of the goalpost.
The flags.
There's no wind at
still.
all.
So
Oh,
no,
well.
they can't hide behind the wind, the boys. They're just not hitting them right. They're tall forwards, though. Collingwood 4 marks inside 50, getting on the end of them.
Well, she's no friend of the players. As the ball goes outside the 50, Cruiser goes up and takes the mark. Looks towards the wing. High ball from behind. Williams did well, knocked it down. Maynard delayed the hand pass, gave it to Tuvey, gets it back. Sinclair, a bit too nimble for Walker. Drives it down towards the attacking 50. Moment is on Cruiser, tries to punch it away. Curnow hurriedly bounces it up towards the wing. Miscue by Frost. Carrazzo gave it to Murphy, now Tui. Overlapping Boakhurst in the clear, has a bounce, runs down towards left half forward. On the move is Henderson. And Henderson's taken the mark about 5 metres in from the boundary line. Darting eyes.
Much better kick there too, Boakhurst. He's got great speed, Boakhurst. He's an outside running type player. And that's exactly what Carlton need. A bit of speed on the outside, players that can run, carry the ball. They've looked good a couple of times when they've broken through the midfield with some overlap handball.
What he needs to do here is assess the lack of breeze. Steps inside the 50. Kick is on the way. Goes across the face and Grundy takes the mark.
Look at that, though. There was 3 Collingwood players there on the line to 1 Carlton player. Now, I mean, surely they needed to get another couple of players back, particularly a tall marking type player like Casbolt, back on the line just to contest.
Yeah.
Well, Casbolt is within range. He's a thumping kick of the football. He has 1 for the afternoon. And you have to say, Tim, he is developing well from where he started.
Yeah, no, he's still a work in progress. And you're right, he's improved this part of his game. Long way out. He fancies himself from this distance.
Slow approach, deliberate approach. And then, well, that's in that column. No score this time. Grundy knocks it down. Henderson, who missed moments ago, runs into a problem, and Greenwood was the tackler. Terrific stuff. They've been waiting for Levi for a while in his last month. He is yet to taste victory. Maybe this afternoon for the Pies. Big year for the Kangaroos. Didn't feel his future was there. Happy at Collingwood. Sinclair through the middle of the ground for solo front spot. Doherty tried to thump it away. Didn't quite control it as he would have liked. He has work to do. Chance for Blair. Got taken off the ball. Well, here we go. Blair looks inside 50. Got a runner over the top. Elliott knocks it down. Here's a chance. Buckley, clean. Had to get through 1, 2. Couldn't get through the third.
Well, there's 2 great tackles from Collingwood. At the other end of the ground, they dispossessed Henderson. They got a free kick, and then their forwards tackling. Great pressure. They've just released the valve a little bit in this part of their game in the last month or so, Collingwood. So I reckon that'll be an area of concentration during the week. That's great. Blair, we know he's a tackling machine, Blair. That's one of the best parts of his game.
Sort of a poor man's Puopolo, isn't he?
15 seconds, Jared.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably not a bad description of the way he plays.
Simon, you're right on it.
That's why I went with it, Tim. Puopolo, 25 metres out. Buckley stands the mark. Any score leads. This one is out to the right. Has it got the carry? Yes, it has. So Collingwood up by a point. 3.5 minutes out from quarter time.
You're right, Tim. The tackling pressure of Collingwood really is a highlight. 15-7 in favour of the Pies, but they've rebounded from 58 times and got it inside their own 55. So Carlton need to make sure they're setting up the zone around the ground a lot better, because Collingwood are just getting it from defence forward too easy.
Casbolt again, strong in the air. To be closed, not in time.
Thank you.
So Blair, one of the ins this afternoon. 3 of the 4 previous weeks wearing the sub-vest for Collingwood. VFL last week crashing into each other. The 2-8s, Langdon and Cruiser, both get to their feet. Here's a chance for Cripps. Retreats, misses Buckley. He's got time to go back and get it again. Fumble initially, then to Simpson. Back to Jamison. Short ball is onto the skipper in Murphy. Good position, skipper in Pendlebury. Almost grabs it out of the air. Buckley feeds it on. Well, under pressure, White. Here's Cruiser in the right spot. Grundy did a good job, read it well, didn't impede, didn't give away the free kick. Cruiser becomes the rover. Marley Williams in the right spot to knock Cruiser over. Umpire let it all roll. And you hear the whistle.
That's one of the things they love about the way Cruiser plays. He contested that ball in the air, and as you rightly called, the first player back down on it, trying to win it at ground level.
Such a wholehearted player, isn't he? Just gives everything. Got to admire him. Holman at the base of that pack.
Well, it just carries you into another category, doesn't it? If you add that to your game, that aggression, particularly if you're one of the bigger guys on the ground. He just wants to compete. He wants to be involved in the game.
White goes up, taps it down. Carazzo, vacant goal square, and it runs on for a goal. Carlton lead by 5 points. Third man up, influencing that one.
And that's his first goal of the year. I think you're looking at, in the lead up to this game, just looking at the Carlton mids and what they're able to provide around the ground. And one of the things that really stands out is their inability to be able to hit the scoreboard. So that's a great sign in the early part of this game for Carazzo to be able to kick a goal from a stoppage at a very dangerous part of their forward line.
Someone out.
Just no cover there on the goal line. A lot of sides often have that goal, the goalkeeper position there, but it was just a one-on-one contest, and a smart snap by Carazzo.
Grundy, beautiful tap to Pendlebury, who knew where the ball was going to be, to Swan, to Langdon. He's got time just to work through. An option is deep, and it's for Solo. Well done. He was looking at the ball a long way out, just held Doherty off, flew from the side. Opportunity to get the Pies' second of the afternoon and to wrestle the lead back. Langdon saw him a long way out, and Fasolo just held his ground, flew late, timed it perfectly. And that's all about the finish. So Fasolo, 3 last week. His first of the afternoon. Reed the first, Fasolo the second. Pies back in front. When you see Fasolo at his very best, you wonder how he is ever playing VFL. But then you talk to the guys at the club and they say there's just elements that he lets himself down on, and they're all work-related.
That's right, and that's not the element of his game that's been letting him down. That's what he's capable of doing. It's when the part of the game that they wanted to improve was when he doesn't have the ball. His pressure as a forward, a small forward, doesn't come naturally to him. Instinctively, he's one of the smartest small forwards going around.
Alex will be featured at half-time. Multicultural round. Umpire tosses it up. Solo from East Fremantle is Pendlebury. Greenwood cruising past is Sinclair. Drives it inside the forward 50. Carlton well represented. Fasolo, though, takes the punch from Rowe and kicks a goal. 2 in the space of 3 kicks. And that's what he does best. He can take a mark. He's a dangerous forward. I mentioned earlier, easily their best forward last week. 3 of 7 goals. Complimentary player, though. You don't want him flying for too many. And when you think about that forward line for Solo, Elliott, if Reed and Cloak can combine as well, then there's a lot to like about that. Not far away.
And Varco down there as well.
Yes,
a really dangerous player. Have a look at this handball, though, from Pendlebury here. Just sees everything. He was the player that set Collingwood in motion then. He's up to 12. 9 of those have been handballs. All of them have been constructive.
So after the Carazzo goal gets the Blues in front only momentarily, the Pies wrestle the lead back. Fasolo back-to-back goals as Holman leads Crisp to the ball. Stays in momentarily.
I think he's the #1 player in the competition now, Scott Pendlebury. And the way the game's played with so much congestion, those players that can see everything, can take a sidestep, can buy themselves a little bit of time, and then put somebody else in motion, they're worth their weight in gold.
I remember Mike Sheehan described him as a Swiss watch. Constant, reliable, stylish. He's all of those things.
Oh, no chance.
And when speaking to those at the club, one of those players that does everything he can and more to make sure that all of his God-given talents come out every weekend.
And he and Swan in his first quarter have had 22 touches between them. That spells danger.
Swan almost had it again. Murphy just stole it out of the air. Ugly sort of a ball forward. No Blue really getting a clear run out of it. Tuvey just mopping up. Greenwood wanted Williams, almost slapped it back to Tuvey. In the end, the Blues will win the ball. Walker on return, tackled by Williams. Just dropped it. Pendlebury pounces and feeds it through. Adams back to Pendlebury, and now Varco. Clem Smith will do the chasing. Runner over the top is the debutant in Marsh. Gets for the ball, runs into a couple of Blues.
One of those is Dennis's Clem Smith, who's been described as a smaller version of Byron Pickett. So he does like the physical stuff. Here he is with the possession.
Wide of the pack. Oh, upended. Varco. Not sure he was all that late. The umpire says he was a step late. So a relayed free kick. Perhaps. Boakhurst has got it. Mature age recruit. First round draft pick last season for the Blues.
Very skillful, this young man too.
Marsh stands the mark, and the kick will come after the siren, so he can't deviate off the line.
Oh, it's good. Run straight, don't play on.
He's been told. Margin 7 points. Kick is on the way, always missing to the near side. So at quarter time, it's 14 plays 20 on Saturday football. Interesting first quarter, marred with a lot of errors, but Certainly a lot of application from both these teams too, and Pendlebury the star with 14 possessions in the opening term. It's Collingwood by 6 points.
They certainly do. He's had 11 handball receives as well, penalty, so he's been able to open them up and get some overlap. And they're going at 29% by foot inside their attacking 50, as Grooney rightfully said. Now, the average for the competition is about 50%, so they're just shooting themselves in the foot by their inability to be able to maintain possession at that end of the ground.
Pies by 6 points as the second term gets underway. And the Blues had an opportunity after the siren through Boakhurst to narrow the margin, a minor score only. Signs are good early. Simpson thumping the ball long. Here's White. He'll be right on his measure.
That's your mark, Tom. Thanks.
Doesn't look confident about firing one off at goal. So to the top of the square, or not even quite there. This time it's Cripps against Crisp. Off the ground goes Crisp. Smith has to wait for it. Did well. Knocked it back in the Curnow direction. Illegally so. Throw the call. So wasn't good at all.
If White's running with Pendlebury and his job is to actually reduce his effectiveness, you've got to say that he hasn't done his job in the first quarter.
Sinclair. Well, Maynard. He was called out of it by Moore. Worked out in the end. The youngster.
Wasn't his dad an agile big man? Wow. Peter. Ball goes towards the wing. Williams. Greenwood getting in between the parties. Takes the mark. Looks down towards the pocket. Coming up on the lead. Reid did the hard work. Dropped the mark. Barco slips it back to Reid. Reid to Adams. He's been quiet. Centering ball is a good one. And Crisp is on the end of it.
What a find he's been for them. He's kicked 13 goals, 7 this year as well, Crispy. He's been often given the assignment of playing on the most difficult or the most influential midfielder in the opposition. They're just really starting to move the ball at will now, Collingwood. I think there's some real danger signs for Carlton in the way they're playing right now.
Crisp. Kicks from 52 metres out. Has it got the carry? Not quite. Cruiser launches himself. Didn't quite stick the landing. That hurt, but well done. A behind increases the lead for the Magpies. So it's 21 plays 14.
So Chris, as Tim said, a remarkable story. Unwanted Lion, 18 games over 3 years, a valuable pie. Leaves the ball a little short, but he's had a remarkable year as the Blues raffle it around at halfback. Doherty goes looking for Simpson, finds him, might have to come wide, does, has Bell, might have the pace in the end against Brown. Now how's the kick? Walker was the one he was looking for. Williams read it well. Floating through and starting the Pies off again from halfback is Williams. Crisp, who was firing at goal moments ago, takes it and takes on Boakhurst. Well, not good initially. Calm mind just to work it back to Adams. He's happy just to slow things up for the moment. Well, Everett got a hand onto it, might be able to finish. Everett intercepted. It's all about the dribble, and the dribble's terrific. Well, now comes the little finger celebration given his germophobia. Doesn't like to get too much skin on his fellow players, but that was great work. He saw it in the air, knocked it to ground, went and found the football, and then the finish. These players are the masters of creating something special to view. I know at times it'll frustrate when it doesn't miss, but he knew exactly what he was doing.
Well, here's a turnover again. That's always a risky kick, and a brilliant finish there. You see Walker there to the left to screen, and Nathan Buckley just burying his head in his hand.
Cruiser brilliant down to Krebs. Kicks it down towards half forward. Everett once more. Sockers off the ground. This one goes out of bounds.
Really good pressure by Everett. He kicked the 3 goals last week, and that's what the Blues want to see from him. They know that he can get and hit the scoreboard, but it's his forward pressure to create turnovers is where they really want to see his game go to another level.
Any germaphobes in your era, Tim?
No, I'm just wondering how he gets on when other players tackle him.
Hates it.
Incentive to run away. Murphy has tried very hard. 9 possessions so far. Simpson has 10. Usual suspects. Still, they're in this game right up to their eyebrows. Cruiser over the top. Sharked away there by Swan. Bounces the ball out towards the boundary. Varco runs onto it, sends it down towards half forward, clears Jamison. Well played by Rowe. Elliott's been quiet. He started as the sub last week. Feeds it back. Adams getting more of the football now. Well-weighted kick. Got there. Langdon inside. Greenwood's okay. He's a left footer. Just hooks it towards centre half forward. And the mark is taken by Brown.
That was a brilliant kick by Dane Swan at half back when he just dribbled the ball forward. Unbelievable.
Not too far to be deliberate, far enough to allow Varco to run on.
He knew exactly what he was doing.
Hang on, I'll tell him. Thanks.
So Brown doesn't kick too many goals.
15 gone. Yep.
Men on the mark on the 50.
Yep.
Collingwood being tested this afternoon so far. Brown's kick tumbles down towards full forward, charging through Cruiser, thumps it away. Boakhurst to Murphy, working hard, sends it towards the outer side. Casbolt rushes at it, and the ball goes across the boundary line.
We spoke about Pendlebury with Brad Green at quarter time. He's come on. He's on the bench for the first 5 minutes of this second quarter, and White has gone straight to him. So he's going to have to make sure he doesn't give him as much room as he did in that first quarter and play Goldside, because he's so efficient when he gets the ball.
Cruiser and Grundy. Doherty. Talk about Chris being a line that's now valued. Doherty 2 for the Blues. One of those that went home. Sinclair on the up, gives it off. Jonathan Marsh, the debutant, fires the ball in. Neat take from Blair, got down low. Well, he started and got lower. Now Pendlebury inside 50. If you're forward leading and Pendlebury's got the ball in the hands, you'd feel comfortable.
And Woosha was just talking about that matchup, though, White and Pendlebury, and he just shook him then. Got some space. Have a look at this. That's Pendlebury on the end of that. There's White in the foreground there. And that's exactly what Woosha was talking about, just making sure that he's goal side of him when they gain possession of the ball.
Has 2 for the afternoon, does for Solo. 3-2 last week, best of 5 in his career. He might be heading in that direction if he's straight here. He's not. Saw Cruiser moments ago, opportunity to mark, decided to fist it back into play, and suddenly the Pies are having another shot at goal.
That's the second time one of their big men has done that. We saw Wood doing that in the first quarter as well, a double fister.
Tui. That's a good kick over distance out of the chest of Cripps. Swan got across in time to hold him up. Cripps to the wing then. Henderson in front, hands to it, couldn't hang on. Walker on the bounce. Boakhurst in trouble. Bell can't keep it in. So boundary throw in at the interchange gates. Collingwood just by 2.
I think I like White on Pendlebury because of the bigger body, but he obviously doesn't have the running capacity.
Carazzo, Curnow, and now Murphy. Carazzo sold into trouble. Murphy in space now. Doherty pushes up. Cripps was on. That's ignored. Cripps should push up the ground now. Walker needs some help. Cripps is jogging. Close to the boundary line. Marsh prevails. There's Cripps. Should have made his move much earlier. Side bottom. Around the outer side. Varco came strongly. Spills across to Langdon. Little 1-2 with Brown. Oh, Varco, brilliant. Touch of magic on this Saturday afternoon. Langdon's hand pass not so magical. Chance for Carazzo. Eventually it spills across to Simpson. Holman was the man who gave it to him, and now Boakhurst is away.
He's got that pace. He's got some support. Tui runs to the left, ignored, long ball.
Yeah.
Well, terrible option in the end. It's going to be Marsh who's happy to knock it over. Umpire gives him the benefit of the doubt.
So that's not skill related at all with Boakhurst, and that's decision making. And you know, players, there should have been a number of their forwards actually leading back to him, lower his eyes, hit those targets and maintain possession. They've really been sloppy at that end of the ground, Carlton. I mean, it's indicative of where they are on the ladder. In the last month, they haven't been able to break 50 points in terms of scores kicked, so it's been a miserable attacking effort on their behalf.
Even that quick handball out to Tui, they've got to take those ones and take some risks.
Cripps, third man up, does the ruck work, knocks it into space. The youngster in Langdon just buys some territory. Holman feeds it to Simpson. He's on his right side, decided to go by hand to the skipper in Murphy. Works back inside. Now, again, who's at home for the Blues? Walker out the back, flew, couldn't quite. Frost thought quickly, gave it off. Langdon fumbled. Williams plays the role of janitor, mops up, goes backwards this time to Maynard. He's happy to stroll out of defence. Bounce after bounce. Casbolt does the chasing. Maynard, long ball on the left. Terrific to Blair. Doherty equally brilliant. Then he lost his feet. Blair quick to bounce. Works through 2 Blues. Neither came at him. Now he fires it. A chance. Well done, Elliott. All pretty neat from the Pies on the outer side. The Blues, though, would like their time again.
Even when they went forward, that kick from Murphy, almost to the top of the goal square, there was no separation there with their deep forwards. They're all just waiting for a pack. 6 or 7 players went up in that pack. They actually had to try and spread out and provide a target for him.
So Billy Elliott, 28 for the year, just 4. 4 since round 11 as Brown comes off with the blood rule. Just the minor score last week for Elliott, who started with the subs vest and 2 weeks out with the back issue. So Nathan Brown comes off. Elliott waits. And the Pies hoping he extends the lead to 8 points. Good things come in small packages, and he is a cult hero for Collingwood. It's on its way. It is there, but no one at home for the Pies. 2 Blues only on the goal line. If it fell short, nothing doing.
It just must be an old-fashioned way of thinking to actually have players of your team anywhere near the goal line.
It would seemingly be an old-fashioned way of thinking that would hold true for the rest of time, would it not?
I think they must be all thinking about getting themselves organised defensively so they don't go to that part of the ground.
Curnow kicks it to the outer side. Marsh favoured by the bounce.
He's looked all right too, Marsh.
Maynard. Over the top, Williams. Swan looks inside. Cruising past Williams, demanded it back. Too nimble for Casbolt, confronted by Bell, and then coughs it up. Wood, Curnow, his hand pass to Boakhurst, weaving. Casbolt, Cripps, in and out of trouble. Brilliantly played. Goes towards the outer side, and Curnow, who takes this mark right on the wing. Man comes at him. Oh, and Cripps, he wasn't the intended, but he sensed the danger. It was going to Collingwood, and he got across there and took the mark.
So Cripps to Curnow. Short ball is on. Bell.
Still, that's it.
This is where the Blues have had some trouble. Inside 50, so Bell makes the problem someone else's. Back it comes to Jamison. Elliott closes in. Jamison by hand. Curnow, he was involved moments ago, threads it back to Jamison. Got to get round Varco. Does okay into the hands of Rowe. Now to Buckley. Wide. This is where it all started moments ago. Bell. He's got a loose man in Cripps. So Cripps now to Carazzo. Well, he's missed his target by hand. That shouldn't be happening. Swan by foot, puts it in front of side bottom. He gets her first. Bell just waited to do the tackling, did well. Dislodged the football, picked it up. He'll get it again here. Well, maybe. Buckley was there too. Now he'll get it. Bell. A part of all of this. Now again, a high ball. Henderson, Casbolt, big fly. This time out the back was Pendlebury. Knocks it to ground. Blair was where the ball just tumbled. Frost missed his target. Langdon has time. Everett tried to corral him. Pendlebury hemmed in. Risky kick. Terrible mark. Still in danger. Cruiser. Now a chance. Bell. Hurried ball. Fumbles. Tumbles. Goals. Ugly, but a goal. And the Blues back in front as Nathan Buckley goes to the pen and paper and makes notes to remind himself of what to discuss at half-time.
Well, at the moment, both these teams are reminding us why they're not in the top 8 in the AFL competition. It's been terrible, hasn't it?
Yep.
Their ability just to be able to maintain possession of the ball. I mean, this bloke on screen, he's now gone to the bench there, Bell, but he's aggressive. Here's the missed mark. I mean, that's a good kick. It just goes right through Maynard's hand, keeps the ball alive there. Good handball over the top by Cruiser. And Bell, like, he's an untidy player, but there he is. He's squeezed his 16th goal for the year through.
Back in the middle then. White, tackled by 3 players, one of whom was a teammate.
Maynard comes straight to the bench after that miss mark too, but great to see Elliott and other players got around him, supported him, and needed to lift his chin and get on with the game.
Murphy gets a free kick before the umpire threw it up. Smith hand passes on to Henderson. Murphy is up to 14 possessions now. Kick from Doherty, very high in the air. Get under that. Boakhurst, Swan coming through side bottom. Adams, it's okay. Crisp. Nothing to suggest Collingwood are going to win this game. Greenwood takes the mark. Rowe hesitated coming across. Greenwood thumps it forward. Swan inside the 50. Well weighted kick. Well done by Smith, but he's given away a free. Still better that than just letting him take it. Smith came back strongly on Reid. And now Reid with the goal opening up to the left footer.
In a funny sort of a way, he'll probably feel more relaxed about this kick than his first 2 kicks because he is at distance.
Carlton lead it by 3 from the 50. Reid, well called, Tim. Oh, terrific effort. Reid not bad either.
Isn't it funny though? You see that each and every game where players, when they're outside 50, and probably there's that built-in excuse because it's a low sort of percentage kick, maybe, that they just relax their action. They go back. I mean, he made that distance easily then, Reid. Well, here's the free kick to Murphy from Pendlebury. He said, well, that wooden bruise. Very flossy saying.
Cruiser terrific to Carazzo, quickly wide on the end of the handball, and again nothing much doing. Swan and Langdon, the Pies that'll get there first. Murphy will be just impeded by Swan. He saw it unfold early. Pendlebury, his kick, well, ideal to Varco. Well, seemingly not. Half volley it was called. I thought it looked all okay. Langdon went looking for Swan, might get it back, does, keeps it in. Now to half forward Doherty, front spot with Tui, knocking it down. Tui, Jamison just crumbed. Varco makes it all pretty difficult. The youngster in Moore taken over the line by Holman. I thought Varco had done a good job on the end of a neat kick. Not to be. Moore still yet to kick goal number 6 of his career. 5 against the Dogs a couple of weeks ago, and an outstanding performance at Bleat within a loss. Cruiser, front spot, this time against Grundy. Langdon in between a couple of Blues, clever to Grundy. Now Adams darting and weaving. Long ball. Reid got a couple of goals next to his name already. Fasolo too, the same. Murphy, though, he was there first to space. Swan loops it over the top. Here's to Chris. Wants his left boot. Wasn't going to get there, so back to Greenwood. He wants his left as well. Pies want a goal. They won't get that. We've talked a lot about Reid missing so much football, 101 games. Cruiser, he's had his fair share of problems, but he's been good this afternoon. There is Reid in game 100, missed 101 since his debut. A couple of goals this afternoon. Nice way to work his way back into the senior side.
Here's Tui. He'll toss the coin this afternoon. Multicultural round. Short to Bell, who's trying hard. Not a skillful player, but a bullocking player. He kicks it short of the wing. Over the top, Casbolt knocks it away from Grundy. Boundary throw in.
Well, they're hanging in there, aren't they, Carlton? I mean, some of it's on the inaccuracy of Collingwood's kicking, but they'll make a big job of this for themselves this afternoon, Collingwood. The longer Carlton hang in there, the more difficult it is going to be to shake them.
Swan, did he have the football? Umpire says play on. The old rubber snake manoeuvre.
They'll start to believe, Carlton, that they're capable of winning this game. I reckon they've had their opportunities, Collingwood, to really put some space in the scoreboard, but they just haven't been able to finish.
Pendlebury decides he'll do it all. He's pushed in the back. He's going to get the free kick. So what's he up to now? 18 possessions.
And conversely, Tim, the Pies will start to doubt themselves after a month and a half of losses.
Yeah.
Buck said during the week, you can sometimes forget how to win.
That's right. That next win gets tougher and tougher.
Well, they lost those 5 games by a total of 69 points. Last week was just careless. That was terrible. Here's Pendlebury. They needed to win a couple in that run of 5 against sides. I think we all tipped to beat them every time, or I did, close to the boundary line, but you gave them a chance, and the Melbourne loss really has harmed them.
Well, those 6 games, Dennis, the average losing margin 17 points. So they've been in every one of those games, and some of those games have been against the best and highly credentialed sides in the competition.
Absolutely. Carranza didn't have the footing.
On the man, Carlton. On the man.
He's been a good player for them.
He has.
Best and fairest winner. Started his career at Geelong, I think, from memory.
Yeah, he did. I think he's been a highly underrated player.
Yeah, me too. He's a tough man. Here's Doherty. Doherty comes back to Carrazzo. He can't run either. Adams comes to him. Buckley. He's got the ball short at half back. Just over 6 minutes remaining till halftime. Buckley goes for distance. Wood spoils. Taken by Williams. Spins off the outside of the boot. Blair comes strongly. Collided with Brown. Picked up by Cripps. Gives it to Bell.
He's got Casbolt as the option. Kick was good. The hands, as so often is the case with Levi, a vice-like. He looks very confident now in the air, Levi Casbolt.
Yeah, no, he's got a great pair of hands.
Big body gets himself in the right spot, measures the kick well. Henderson, who's been quiet in front of goals in the last month, too far out to score, so the Blues start to drift inside 50. Holman provides a lead. He's ignored. Wider ball to Murphy, still too far out to score.
Well, there was nothing of any height deep. That's why they had to come back out again and reset.
Sloppy from Murphy. Time for Doherty. Now Jamison. He is short on options too. Not a player behind him on the ground.
They've changed the angle, but they haven't opened up any more options on that side of the ground.
Well, they picked out Darcy Moore. He was on his lonesome, as if it was meant for him.
They're just not moving the ball inside 50 quick enough, Carlton. The options aren't there. The forwards leading it, giving Collingwood too much time to push back and intercept there like Darcy Moore did.
For Solo, a couple next to his name at the other end of the ground for the afternoon. Brown taped up, back onto the ground. Now Blair. Carrazzo will be the man that hurts him.
Oh.
Well, terrific. Again, used his body perfectly, stood his ground, back into the flight of the ball. And the little man outmuscles the veteran. Short ball is on, into the basket of Adams.
He's on the wing. Snyder up by 4 points. Just drops it over the man on the mark to Swan.
This will be his 17th disposal.
And Pendlebury's got 18. And still they lead by less than a goal. Reed's made a good return. Side bottom. Blair jumping at shadows there. Eventually to Reed. Kicks inside the forward 50. Moore outmaneuvered and outmarked in the end. Holman plays on. Slips a hand pass to Doherty. Doherty to the opposite pocket. Curnow. Curnow needs to be careful. Kicks it out wide. Everett leads in the race out there. Gathers it. Maynard came at him and then backed off at the last minute. Good mark taken on the lead by Henderson. Good kick too. So Henderson down towards right half forward.
That was a great play by Everett too to break to that space, and then that was a great target to hit too. There was just one option.
There's a chance for Swan. Just bounce in his direction. Langdon kept his head back to Swan. Retreats to Brown to Sinclair. He moonwalks away from Casbolt. It's hold of the football. Looks further afield for Solo. Terrific hands at full stretch. Made it impossible for the Blues defender. Wonderful kick to side bottom. Runners are on. Side bottom. Further afield to Elliott. He'll get and go through the pigeons into an open goal square. Goal to Billy. You saw it all unfold, Tim.
Yep.
Numbers everywhere for the Pies.
Well, it was Fasolo was the first mark across half back, and then once he gained possession of the ball, they were just able to set themselves up, and that was a great chain of kicking from one end of the ground to the other. They stayed inside the corridor. They didn't do it with any width whatsoever, so that's probably one of the best passages of play we've seen this afternoon. His side bottom, who's such an intelligent user of the ball. I mean, that was a fairly obvious kick there to take, but he's always looking to make sure that there's somebody ahead of him with some space. And it doesn't get any easier than that for Elliott.
So Bill Laurie would have had his heart in his mouth as Billy Elliott cruised through the pigeons, ends up with a goal for the Pies. Back-to-back goals, game-high lead. 10 points for the Pies. There's been 6 lead changes, maybe 3 in a row coming up. Here's Blair. Well, he's missed, and Reed was screaming for the ball. Not sure whether he saw him. He was squeezed in on his right boot. Bang!
That's great assault on the ball there by Blair. I mean, that's exactly what Nathan Buckley wants him to do. It's not so much about how many he should have kicked that goal, but it's not about how many goals he kicks. It's the pressure that he applies around the ball.
So Tui, the Irishman, in multicultural round, goes searching for distance. Moore and Cruiser collide. Tuvey read it well. Over the top of the head. Moore with that terrific leap to Grundy. Grundy, the low ball. Varco couldn't handle it. Moore could to Maynard. Maynard, he's within range. Maynard's kicked a goal. Pies 3 in a row. So Maynard, his first goal in AFL football. Game number 6, goal number 1. He was almost urged on in the end. Pendlebury said, keep rolling, keep rolling.
Well, there were 3 options then as well, and they've really put their foot to the floor in the last 5 minutes, Collingwood. And, I mean, the question now for Carlton, because they've had a couple of beatings, is what can the Blues do? This is the goal here from Maynard. That's a great reaction. Young player coming into the side. He's going to be around a long time. You see more involved there as well. I mean, that's their future, Collingwood.
Tim, we said it's a little bit of a scrappy game skill-wise, but gee, both sides are putting their body on the line, both in the air, on the ground. The tackling pressure is enormous from both teams.
Margin 17 points. Simpson to Murphy. Carlton need a goal. Just over 2 minutes to half-time. Casbolt comes up. Oakhurst right on the numbers. Wayward sort of kick. Gives every Collingwood player a chance at that one. Grundy missed it. Holman gives it across to Everett. Everett misses the goal. Wow, that would have been big. Just going back to Maynard, his first goal in AFL football. His granddad, we were talking about granddads before. His granddad was a good player too, Graham Campbell. Played for Victoria, Coach Fitzroy. In fact, he coached in all 3 major states. West Perth in Western Australia and Glenelg in South Australia. Sinclair to himself. Runs to the pocket and drives it up towards the wing.
Rowe, he's got a bit to deal with. Did well initially, kept his feet, lost it. Smith gives a little support. Buckley has to be quick. Oh, here we go. The Pies again with numbers all over the place. Blair on it for Solo. Jamison defensively terrific. Knocks it on, continues on. Simpson, the beneficiary of the hard work from Jamison. Inside to Holman. Holman's kick over the top to Everett. Already has 1, searching for 2. That's absolutely spot on. A lot of good work from Jamison, and he had to finish to really look after Jamison's good work.
I thought, it was good work from Jamison, but I thought Fasolo was just a bit relaxed actually going for that ball. He should have gone a lot harder than what he did. He allowed Jamison to come into the contest, but been impressed too with Holman a couple of times in this term when he's been in and around the ball, what he's been able to do. That was an intelligent kick as well to set that goal up for Everett. Here's the setup, Simpson inside there to Holman, and this is a really smart kick by Holman to that space outside, and plenty of time there for Everett.
Back in the middle. Grundy goes after the football, tries to feed it out, couldn't. And the ball up.
I mentioned earlier about big collisions. We saw Doherty and Blair out here on the wing had a big collision 2 or 3 minutes ago. Doherty's come off the ground and straight down the race holding his left shoulder with the doctor. So I'll keep you updated on Doherty.
Cruiser. Bell trying to juggle it. Off the ground by Cruiser. Side bottom gets back. Tuvey charging through. Aggressively has a bounce. Pendlebury, it's in good hands now. Pendlebury goes looking for Fasolo. Almost a spectacular mark. Couldn't hang on. In goes Walker. Ball comes out the other side. Clever by Blair. Into the path of Pendlebury. He slipped over. White goes around the boundary on the bounce. Crisp the first to arrive. And the ball goes out of bounds. Another heavy collision there. And Bell is slow to get up.
Well, this is almost a great mark here by Fasolo. Just the 2 taps there. Unable to secure it.
Great awareness, hasn't he, where the ball is in the air. Times it so well so often. He knew where to go back and get it the second time. Couldn't quite control it. Speaking about high intelligence with the football. Steele side bottom. Drives the ball forward. Everett kicked the goal moments ago. This time defending. For Solo for 3. He's got 3, as he did last week. And suddenly it's back out to a healthy lead. 16 points after a game high of 17. Had been narrowed to 10. Half a chance becomes plenty for Alex Fasolo so often. Half a sniff, often a major.
Well, they've taken it inside 50 now. 13 times this quarter. They've kicked 4 goals, 5. So they've had 9 shots at goal. And It's just been too easy once they've gone in there. They've had a lot of space to operate in. And that bloke, you know, like, he is seriously one of the most dangerous small forwards in the competition.
So the margin 16 points, 23 seconds to half-time.
Walker on him now for Solo.
Ruck's fought a draw. Down goes Cripps.
Started in the forward line, Walker. But it's probably easier when you're coming back and you're a little bit rusty just to find the pace of the game as a defender as opposed to a forward, particularly the way Carlton's been playing in the first half.
Grundy did well. Blair, crisp, kicks inside the forward 50. Charging up was Rowe, affected nothing really, but the ball came back to him. Well worked. Kicks it out towards the wing, takes a Collingwood bounce. Well done by Simpson though. There's the siren for half-time. And a surge by Collingwood approaching the major break. He's put them up by these 16 points, 7-7 to 5-3. And fair to say the game dominated by the Stars. There's a couple of them. Pendlebury outstanding. So much of the football in the first half. 21 possessions to half-time. And right now it's 7-7, 5-3 Collingwood's way on a Saturday afternoon at the MCG.
Coming up on the halftime show, Tim Watson analyses.
2016, the Blues look to the second half. It's a 16-point lead to the Pies. 4 of the last 5 goals went the way of Collingwood. Reid got his second. Elliott, Maynard and Fasolo. He got his third to finish the second term.
And Walker, who finished on him in that second quarter, has gone to him again at the beginning of the third.
So away we go. Cruiser hesitates and wins it decisively down to Cripps. Storms out of the middle. Kicks inside the forward 50. Missed down there by Henderson. Bell goes after it. Langdon beat him to it. Sinclair kicks along the boundary and it goes out.
It was a poor kick in the end though from Cripps. He had plenty of time to kick that ball. There was space in front of Henderson. In the end he kicked it too high and brought the Collingwood defender into the equation. I mean, they're the areas of Carlton's general play that are letting them down.
So Cruiser, the senior of the 2 big ruckmen, knocks it down. He's been terrific in the air today, Cruiser. Simpson, Murphy had to work his way back inside. Did a good job. Bell just waited too long. Pendlebury, with some assistance, ends up with a football to Swan. Here's Blair, took it cleanly. Buckley tries to close around the corner to Greenwood. He'll come back to his left boot. Knows no other way. Swan runs into space. Curnow does the chasing. Ugly sort of a ball for Swan. Cruel bounce. Curnow, he got lucky in the end. Swan was leading him a merry dance in the end. Buckley to Curnow to Cripps. Back to Curnow. Over the top, Buckley. They're sharing it around, that trio. Now to Holman. He gets involved. Well, again, Maynard stops the run of the Blues. Back to side bottom. Looks further afield. Long ball for Solo. He's been dangerous all afternoon. First half was terrific. Second half, well, looks ominous. Has 3 next to his name. Top of the square. Crisp at the back of it all. More at the front. Crisp had it. Knocked it down. He'll go and win his own football. Works through traffic. Feeds the ball. Here's a chance. Swan doesn't often miss. Gets a major. Low-key celebrations from the veteran. A handshake here or there. He's blowing a little. He's got a wry smile, but he gets what the Pies fans were craving. 22-point lead.
Well, there's more of his smile to see too. He shaved the beard off. He looks... he almost looks like a bank teller at the moment, doesn't he?
Private schoolboy with stickers.
He's a wonderful player and has been for a long time. This bloke's been a really good player too. We talked about him already, Crisp, and his ability to not only play on players but also get plenty of the ball. Been averaging 22 disposals this year. Become a really important part of their midfield.
Cripps again. Murphy goes after it. Now Murphy might get a free. Advantage is paid. Cripps runs on. That was ambitious. He gets away a second time. Got it back from Bell and kicks inside the forward 50. Wood didn't approach it with much venom. Frost taken down. Sinclair, look away, hand pass Pendlebury. That was brilliant. Out to Williams. Williams comes along the boundary line, and that's a great mark by Swan. In the hands out in front.
That was unbelievable handball then by Pendlebury.
Hasn't Williams had a season? Every time he gets the ball now, he uses it so well. Never looks flustered. Always under pressure, but always seems to find a target regardless of what's going on around him.
And it's one of the more important positions on the field to fill for your team too, those players that have played those small forward roles to give you some speed and ball movement.
Greenwood back inside onto his left. Fasolo, the leaping Alex Fasolo. At full stretch out in front, and this will take all he's got in the kit bag. This for 4.
I reckon this is his distance. He can kick, if he gets a good strike on the ball. A couple of times he's shot from this about this range, and he just hasn't hit the ball cleanly.
So from about 55, he struck it cleanly. He struck it beautifully. Over the top it goes. 4 for Alex Fasolo. And so rhythmical and easy in the kick. In the end, it was just carried over the top, but it looked so effortless.
Early in the game, he had one from a similar distance, but he just didn't really strike it cleanly at all, and it probably finished about 10 metres this side of the goals. On that occasion, though, he just struck it beautifully, and he's in white-hot form this afternoon. He's loving the ball in the air. He's been good and creative and imaginative when the ball's on the ground. This is a lovely, effortless, smooth style there. All the way goal.
Almost encouraging you to get in the hole.
That's the one. Carrazzo. Murphy slung down. He waited for the tackle. Well, he's a bit lucky there, Mark Murphy. He actually walked into the tackle. Umpire said he was slung, becoming a contentious issue, that one. Tui, Murphy, regardless, he's been wonderful. Goes back to Rowe. Really, in this game, the cream has come to the top. Jamison, Tui. Tui looks down towards half forward. On the lead, Casbolt. Step for step cross. Pendlebury, speaking of the cream. Well, there they are. Very creamy across half back. Maynard finds Grundy.
That's it, Zach!
Inside, Tuvi got a runner in Swan. He's got no one really coming at him, at least initially, and then it was Holman who just tried to stop him. He went looking for Elliott. Elliott normally just puts it into the right spot. This time Reed's allowed to run into the space. Going back with a flight, Greenwood knocked into Simpson's direction. Pick up, a pause and a kick to Tui. What are the numbers, Tim, for Pendlebury and Swan now? They're starting to really tick over.
25 for Swan, 26 for Pendlebury. They're monopolising the ball in the second half, those two.
9 short of Australia's total in the first innings.
There he goes again.
A duopoly in the middle. Swan and Pendlebury again this time. Pendlebury to Varco.
How would you be feeling if you're playing on him and your own teammates are picking him out?
Varco, long ball, side bottom. Stepped around Curnow, took the mark. Side bottom. Not a big game from him, but certainly a quality player. He'll kick this, and suddenly this has happened very quickly, because the last 5 minutes of the second quarter and the opening 5 minutes of playing time in this one, it's gone from line ball to over 5 goals. Well, a couple of things wrong with my commentary. Step one he didn't do. He's put it through for a minor score. That's a bad miss.
But 6 of the last 7 goals, to your point, then. First 2 in this third term, and well, it's starting to look ugly if you're a Carlton supporter. Just under 5 goals, but Collingwood monopolising the football. Tui, thumping ball. Greenwood waits to it. Hoped it was going to be knocked in his direction. Doherty, though, he was in the right spot. Over to Clem Smith. Runner is Murphy. Takes it, runs into trouble. Just has to wait. Feed it back to Clem Smith. Tui will try and just hold him up for the moment. Smith, industrious, went to ground. In the end, Jonathan Marsh, the debutant, Marley Williams and Tuvey all just get around Smith. Not going anywhere anytime soon. The sling tackle.
Yeah, this is the tackle against Green. That's his 6th tackle. And what the umpire is leading there, it's 2 motions. Well, it's hard to know, isn't it?
Impossible.
It is hard to know. I reckon if you're going to err, though, let's err on the side of over officiating that particular decision, though.
You would like the tackled to be looked after, or the tackler?
No, those that are being tackled, yeah.
Okay, Buckley, top of the square. Frost goes back, bounce. You got to pour on it, I think, regardless. Went to the wrong side of the upright, a minor score only.
Well, you better keep some of these guys out of the gym then, because they're bulking up and they're very strong.
Yeah, I understand
look,
that.
yeah.
But we've seen some, some pretty terrible results of those tackles, players not able to break the fall, crashing their head into the turf. Well, it's a terrible look for the game.
Wood helps this ball on its way off the ground by side bottom. Murphy ran his heart out, pushing the back, says the umpire. So he gets the rub of the green.
It's been a tough year for him, hasn't it? Just watch this again.
So courageous, never stops trying. His dad and his granddad both played at the top level. There goes Henderson. Casbolt got a hand to it. Smith, Will-o'-the-Wisp. Out of bounds he goes, and a boundary throw in.
It's hard leading when there's not too many following, and that's what he's found all year.
Come with me, and turns around and there's nobody there.
Lone sailor.
Well, there's been a few. I mean, they've had a couple. Simpson. I reckon Everett's had a reasonable year as well, hasn't he?
Yep. And
maybe
Cruiser. Cruiser too, since he came into the side.
The way we're going, we'll have him in the top 8. Murphy slips a hand pass away. Carazzo 60 metres out.
Well, not a pleasant one for any forward. Langdon, like a Union player, just had to wait. Took it cleanly and well. Now to space. Who's going to get there first? Looks like it's Crisp. Certainly from a Pies perspective. Blues, though, work it between themselves. Everett back to Henderson, back inside to Walker. Here's a chance. Murphy along the ground. Sweeper was there. I think he missed it. Murphy gets a major. If it was side bottom doing the sweeping, you wouldn't play him on the last line in any first 11 anywhere in the world. It was slick from Murphy, went low. Side bottom couldn't get there, and the first for the skipper this afternoon.
He's up to 24 as well, Murphy, and 7 contested possessions, and he's working as hard as he can to lead his team.
Great goal there by Murphy, followed up really well. Carlton have activated their sub, as we see. Big Wood there, just the one disposal, hasn't really impacted the game, and Wiley has come on to create some run off halfback.
Well, I think it's a necessary move on Carlton's behalf to try and see if they can change the way this game's going at the moment.
Williams got it from Pendlebury. 28 possessions now for Pendlebury. Blair, and that's in the back, surely.
Do you think another umpire's going to make a difference to those calls, Dennis?
Well,
we're talking about a 4.
Yeah, possibly. Hard to know, isn't it? It's all about angles and being able to see through. The congestion is part of the problem. There's no question about that for umpires. So many bodies, so many moving bits. Out of defence, Cripps a high one. In front, Henderson. So Wiley's on the ground. He was involved there. You heard the sub is on for Carlton.
Henderson, he's had a sluggish sort of a month. Blues have battled their way through, but Henderson normally able to find a major. He's had a quiet month, and he's just today battling too. 3 weeks in a row without being able to find a major. The Blues have struggled to put tallies together.
I don't think it's all his fault, though. The way the ball is actually flying from one end of the ground to the other, and already in this third term, on 3 occasions he's been the leading forward, and the kick hasn't gone to his advantage.
High balls on his head or to the wrong side. Do you think they teach the wriggling snake move?
I think they do. Yeah, sort of.
Everyone down, wriggle, terrific. They'll
vibrate like a rubber snake. That's the one.
Moore this time doing the ruck work against Cruiser. Just a slight body beat. You love the look of Darcy Moore in the warm-up, Tim, the way he moves.
Yeah, no, he's like a coiled spring, he is. He's a bouncy, athletic type. A couple of seasons in the gym, and he'll be a force to be reckoned with.
Well, that was perfect to Langdon.
I mentioned it before too, Tim. Wasn't his dad so agile for a big man?
He was a huge man and a great athlete.
Oh, wonderful.
He was probably the first of that really athletic, tall, big guy in the game.
Yeah. But that was the era of the big ruckman, wasn't it, when they said the Brownlow was unfair? It was an award made for ruckman.
Yeah. They used to sit across half-back, although he did more than just sit across half-back too. Yeah. He created a lot of momentum after ruck play.
Before him, Len Thompson, who was a wonderful athletic man for that size. Yeah. Incredible.
One of the best palmers of the ball you've ever seen too.
Meanwhile, back at the game, Carazzo gives it to White. Kicks it up towards the wing. Oh, that took a bit of organisation. Moore immediately in the action for Solo. And now a grandson of a gun kicks it across the ground. Bounces obligingly there for side bottom initially. Couldn't control it. Down went Greenwood. Jarred out of there. Standing his ground was Frost. In goes Smith. Strong tackle by Blair. And we'll have a ball up.
There's Smith on screen, the man that, as you say, Tim, has been described as Byron Pickett-esque.
Yeah, he's about 20 kilos short of Byron, I reckon.
If you play anything like Byron Pickett, it is an extraordinary brand of football. He was a cannonball. Everett, the chase is on with Jonathan Marsh. The debutant did well. Just knocked away from Everett, kept his feet, went back and won the football. The applause of the Collingwood fans. Again, a little slap forward, and again, he just fetches his own footy. Well, brilliant stuff from the teenager. Ends up with Pendlebury over the top. Reid, almost a second grab, not quite. While we're speaking of grandfathers, we spoke about Jonathan Marsh's grandfather pre-game. Then you've got his sort of bio.
Oh, well, a little bit. Yes, he'll be behind his chair now after that last run by his grandson. But he was approached by Collingwood when he was 16 to come to Victoria. They turned up, officials of Collingwood, at an underage game and spoke with his dad and said, we've got to take you. You know, let him come with us. Didn't go. Came across and played some pre-season with South Melbourne and starred in each of their practice matches, best on ground. Couldn't get a clearance in those days, though, Tim, and went back to Perth.
What year are we talking?
We're going back to the 60s. He won a couple of Sandovers. One of the best state players I think WA has produced. Big game players.
Well, plenty of discussion from the umpires. Wiley goes looking for Cripps and finding him. Tui floats in at halfback. Pies by 22 points. 15 gone third term. Wiley again. He was struggling at the Giants to find a niche. Just 12 games. Happy to move to Carlton, but he hasn't really had an impact here either. Simpson asking Greenwood just to go back. Not sure he's going to gain too much. He moves it on quickly to Doherty. At the moment, not much doing. Well, intercept almost from Blair. Knocked it away from Wiley. Wiley will get the free kick. Blair will be disappointed. So Wiley, the 22-year-old from Finley. Tom Hawkins territory. Shane Crawford. Lean body too. Spoke of Darcy Moore's light frame. Wiley's been adding to it. Debuted in 2012, so he's had some seasons in the gym. Not quite yet the bulky frame that he'd like to be to stand up to the rigours of this game. Well, Henderson was slow to release. Side bottom had him. This time it's Holman taking over the line. The tackler was Tuvey. And right now, Seinfeld-esque.
Reed's had a good return to the scene. He's just come off, just getting a little bit of work on the hamstrings to make sure that he can get through the game. He's had a great comeback to AFL.
Show about nothing I was referring to at halfback, the Pies.
One of their best. There's Williams.
Around.
High one towards the wing, going back is Greenwood, and it's going to be, I think, a free kick Alex Vasolo's way. Everything falling into place for him. Not bad a series based on nothing, is it? Just let it fall into place.
Seemed to work out, didn't it?
Perfectly. Swan short. Sinclair. Not sure where to go, so take something off the kick up towards half forward. Buckley, likely type. Talking about pedigrees, well, he's got one too, and the ball is out of bounds. It'll be tossed in.
So Greenwood and Doherty, two players who started their careers at other clubs. Greenwood in his first year at the Pies. Doherty his second at the Blues. Curnow, he was on the Hawks list for a while. As to the Crows, couldn't quite cut it. Done a great job for the Blues. Murphy ducks and weaves. A little bit of something. Well, the kick terrible. Marsh, he showed some dash on debut to Swan. Short ball, neat and tidy. Blair. And he's happy to go himself, at least momentarily. Gets away from Curnow, bullets the ball. This time it's in good hands. Greenwood, short ball for Solo. He's lining up for 5. Kicked his 4th from just about there, and he did it easily.
the Carlton pressure now, it's dropping, and it's just making it so much easier for Collingwood just to move the ball at will. There's been 3 targets all over the place when they've gone forward.
If Fasolo's kicked...
Oh, he's going to be filthy on this Fasolo.
That was for his equal PB. Not to be. 5 will have to wait.
That's careless.
Yep. And stupid.
Yeah, well, last night we saw it too, didn't we?
Early in the game.
Yeah, young Lennon took a mark, was going to kick a goal or at least score. He's only about 25 metres out. One of his teammates just gave it away. Wiley knocked down by Elliott. In goes Tui. Great tackle by Elliott. How will they judge that? There was some sling in that as well. Now the umpire decides that's holding the footy.
And your own man's holding it in. Your own man's holding it in as well.
Elliott gets the free. Wants to go, just chips it across. Maynard takes the mark. Langdon is on. He's got it at left centre wing and can take off. Well, he's a right footer, so crowded himself a little here. Wanted to go back to the middle, forced to go down the line. Grundy has it about 70 metres out. Marco's on the move. Well, goes short. Williams, but it's in pretty good hands here. Good user of the ball. Williams ignores the lead by Adams, who is coming hard at him. Adams continues his lead to the interchange bench.
A few players going hard at the football. Side bottom was one of those. Curnow, he just worked himself into the right spot. Simpson. It's time to Wiley, leads Pendlebury to the ball, but it's just a lot of circle work at halfback for the Blues.
That's his 21st touch. Simpson is going at 100% still.
Wow.
100%.
Sorry, 23 touches, 100%.
Gets better by the second. Pendlebury and Swan are both closing in on 30. If they both get 30, it's the 43rd time they've both got 30 in a game, and it'll be... Ooh.
There's a reversal, just a little bit of head-high stuff from Travis Varco. A more experienced player he is as well. I mean, he should know better than that. You just don't engage in that sort of behaviour once your player is lining up for goal.
Well done, Smith. Front spot, strong hands. Just going back to Pendlebury and Swan. If they both get 30, 43rd time they've done it. 19 more than any other pair. They are prolific ball winners. Pendlebury on cue.
Carlton have got to stop picking him out.
Langdon loops it over the top. Sinclair can kick a goal. Sinclair lines up from inside the 50. And that's a poor kick. Well wide of the mark.
There's been a couple of Carlton players here. They got him in their super coach team.
63 plays 40. Still not money in the bank as far as Collingwood are concerned. Tui. Short to Jamison.
Thanks, Jack. Okay.
Jamison out wide to Doherty.
Darcy, no, stay. You're there.
Moore manning the mark. And Doherty taking plenty of time. High ball, short of the wing. Cruiser got in front and then lost his rhythm. And the ball comes off his right hand as he was falling to the ground and goes out of bounds. So 63 plays 40, just under 4.5 minutes to three-quarter time.
Pendlebury with 30, Swan with 27. Still so much time left in the game. They're going to be scary numbers by the time it comes to a close. Simpson, Curnow, Carazzo. He's got one wide. Didn't have time to go in that direction, but he's going to get lucky.
Top of the shoulder. With hand over the top of the shoulder.
Carlton have decided that White's not the man for Pendlebury now, and they've shifted him up forward.
Talked about Levi Casbolt having his first child overnight, a son. Having triplets and continue to keep on keeping on. Well, Blair.
It's courageous length.
Crisp. A beautiful kick of the football that was. Saw Billy Elliott. Didn't have a lot to work with, and he worked it beautifully. Grundy over the top for Solo. Got 4 for the afternoon. Was lining up for 5 moments ago. Wasn't to be. Now Reid. He's got Rowe to beat. Almost does. Chance for Swan. Industrious. Works it in the Adams direction. He's going to run into Cruiser. And Cruiser's knees are in the wrong spot for Adams. He's still on the ground. Jamison feeds it back to Simpson. Simpson retreats, brings it wide. This time he finds Walker. Adams is back up onto his feet. All is well that ends well, but Cruiser came in at pace and Adams's head was at the wrong height.
Missed by Henderson. Loose at the back. Wiley loops a hand pass over the top. Henderson, as the ball arrives, so did Tuvey. They'll have a boundary throw in.
We mentioned early on in the game that Murphy needs some support from not just his elder statesmen, but some of the younger players as well. Murphy's tried hard again this quarter, 11 disposals and the 1 goal. So he's doing everything he can, but he needs some more men to start walking behind him.
Cruiser slaps it forward. Crisp, a full rotation and then some. Got boot to ball. Tuvey just hacked his way through the traffic, trying to get access to the footy. Applies a tackle.
It's a good point. At the beginning of the year, he had some extra support. Judd was there at the beginning of the year. Gibbs was there at the begining of the year. Thomas was there right at the beginning of the year, and he would have expected that those players would have shared the workload of the midfield. But I mean, either of them are there at the moment.
They're big names, aren't they? When you take out Thomas, Gibbs and Judd.
They're frontline midfielders alongside Murphy.
The Pies missing Travis Cloak, Lockie Keefe, Brent McCaffer. So there's some personnel missing as Casbolt flies, but at the moment it's the Pies having the best of the afternoon. Bell gets the best of that contest and then puts a man under enormous pressure in Cripps. He somehow gets rid of it. So it was brilliant to Bell. Sleight of hand now to the top of the square to foot race. Everett goes back. So too the debutant, and it will be a boundary line win.
That's where Bell, like, he's got great aggression. He's a great competitive, but he just lacks that finish. That's a great tap over. I mean, this one should have gone back inside here. He had Carlton players on the inside there. White was one of them. It would have been a far easier shot for goal from him.
Bit of a stalemate now. Collingwood lead by 23. Casbolt did well. Wiley snaps. Maynard goes back. Couldn't find it in the air, and it bounces through for a behind. 9-9, plays 6-5. Maynard puts it in quickly. It's 2-on-1. Swan is the one and has done very well. Worked his way in front and gets it out of bounds with intent. Oh, well, the umpire behind spotted it well. Swan, that was terrific initially, just to grab front spot and make a contest. Big pack at the drop of the ball, trying to find a way through Curnow. Bell, can he make amends? He's missed a few. And he's pulled this too severely. It goes through for a minor score.
There wasn't even any arguing from Dane Swan in the end. He did it so beautifully. He thought he'd done it well enough, but he didn't argue.
That really wasn't well disguised. One thing on his mind there, Dennis.
I think so.
The umpire picked it.
Williams, the man with the responsibility, thumps the ball long, row, out of the air, knocks it forward. Boakhurst, just a little slip. Pendlebury ridden into by Holman. Boakhurst had it stolen by Maynard. Little gift to Sinclair was terrific. Tumbling ball forward. Now it's the foot race on. Simpson, bit of support from Jamison. Well, if that's not deliberate, the Pies fans might just get more agitated than normal.
See, that's a poor decision, because that was his sole intention then too, to knock the ball out. It went directly over the line.
Swan ping, Jamison benefit of the doubt.
Boundary throw in, Casbolt and Grundy. Grundy directs it down. Curnow, hand passed into the oncoming Swan. Now a scramble on the outer side and to get a ball up.
Collingwood fans not happy with that last decision.
Grundy props in front of Casbolt. Casbolt slaps it towards the boundary. Cripps picks it up, feeds a hand pass back. Buckley, nicely done. Murphy once more. Wiley, coming hard was Blair. Cripps did well. Got through, kicks inside the forward 50. Beautiful kick. Henderson, on a searching lead, decides to play on, gives it to Everett. Everett goes in and kicks a goal. He's got 3.
That was probably their best passage of play this afternoon, Carlton, given where they came from at half back to be able to move the ball at that part of the ground. That's a really good kick then from Cripps. A couple of his kicks had just been a little bit too high for the forwards, but that was perfectly weighted then. And I mean, he's not going to be the quick outside midfielder ever, Cripps, but he's going to be a gun midfielder for the next 10 years for the Blues. And he actually can motor a bit when he winds up. Here's that kick from Cripps. That's just beautifully placed then. Diagonal lead there from Henderson. And the finish by Everett.
That's the 4th time this year he's kicked 3, which means potentially at the end of the year he's the Blues' leading goal scorer. If you look down the honour boards, Everett probably isn't a name you would have thought you would have seen there, particularly when he was recruited after some time at the Swans and the Dogs. Langdon had it, lost it. Cripps, still time for the Blues. 18 seconds left. Too hot for White.
I sometimes wonder, like young midfielders, because it is a tough game to play for a midfielder, just the tiredness when they actually eventually get the ball, how much that does affect their kicking. Another pre-season, and he's going to be a handful for opposition sides. Cripps.
Crisp, Pendlebury. Cripps on top of Pendlebury. Blair, little give to Crisp. Now Swan, wonderful handball to Grundy, but time will beat the Pies. So an interesting 30 minutes to be played. Pies by just 15 points. Blues within reach. Pies, they've won 10 of the last 12 against the Blues, including the last 5. Can they break the run of 6 losses? Stick around and find out. Collingwood by 15 at the last change.
Up today, I can only assume he's underdone.
Just following on from what Rob Harvey had to say there, Murphy had 12 that quarter, Cripps had 10. They won the clearances around the ground 14-6 in that quarter, but they were only able to get 1 goal as a result of that. So their movement around the stoppage has been okay, but then it breaks down.
So the last 30 minutes about to be played out. Magpies have won 5 in a row against the Blues, but they've lost 6 in a row this season. Can they continue beating the Blues and break the drought? Hasbot flies, hits the pack hard. Wiley tries to crumb. Crisp was terrific. Side bottom. Little fumble. Time to gather. Debut from Marsh. He's been terrific. Langdon to Swan. Bullets the ball. Well done, Scharenberg. Lost his feet. Kept his head. Fired the ball back inside. Wiley breaks the tackle. And now to the outer side. Tough going for Greenwood. He's got Simpson on his hammer.
There's a lot to like about Marsh, isn't it? Like for somebody stepping in, playing his first game down back, composed. Looks like he's got plenty of time when he has possession of the ball.
Good size and very quick. Well done by Cruiser. Slapped it down. Grundy goes after it.
He attacks the ball really hard. There's a contest right in front of me in the second quarter where he just launched at the footy. And that's what you want to see. Best on ground last week in the VFL side for the Pies. So he stepped up to the level and looks like he can handle it and going to have a big career at AFL.
Swan, hurried kick, bounces it around the boundary. Tui getting back. Thought about Simpson. Elected to go instead to Doherty. Gets it back now. In space. Run his full measure and kicks it down towards half forward. Smith committed. Did nicely. Boakhurst clean. Cruiser sends it inside the forward 50 and getting space. Everett and a chance to line up for his 4th.
Second metre, please, John. John, 1 metre, please.
Now, if the margin comes back to 9 points, then it's game on at the MCG.
It's just a wobbler of a kick, wasn't it? And that's why you got to play in front and watch the ball at all times.
Andreas Everett should convert here. Kick is on the way, and he's become reliable. He's got 4 this afternoon. 9 points the difference.
And so he's in PB territory too. He's kicked 3 a number of times. 3-3 his best prior to today. 4-1 for the afternoon. And well, he has become a goal source in recent times for a Carlton Football Club. For Solo at the other end of the ground. He's got 4 goals, 1 also back to just 9 points. Was a game high 29. Suddenly Bucks has got plenty to be concerned about. Murphy and Everett late goals in the 3rd term. Everett starts the 4th well. So what can they conjure, the Blues? And how do the Pies respond? Early moments. Final term, Collingwood by 9 points only. Wiley somehow got the kick away. Simpson tries to volley it forward. Pendlebury missed his foot. Cripps wanted, I think, Murphy. Found Doherty. Murphy in the end ends up with a football. And then a hurried ball forward. Everett kicked the last. This time the bounce was cruel. At least initially. He goes back after the football. It was knocked in his direction. The all draw.
We go back to that point that you made earlier, and Nathan Buckley spoke about during the week about the players' inability now to think they can actually win games, and those doubts will be in their minds right now.
So they were in a really nice winning position, 29 points in front. Suddenly the Blues have responded, and will Collingwood be able to settle and find a way?
Patrick Cripps now, 26 possessions. His PB is 33. Oakhurst is taken down. Whistle. Was back in round 4 against St Kilda.
We saw Wiley come on as sub for the Blues in that third quarter. He's already up to the 9 disposal, so really good timing to get him on and get him some run.
Grundy knocks it down. Swan, quick kick. Crisp. Couldn't move it very far. In goes Williams.
Well, he's got a big job in this last quarter now. Crisp, he's gone over to Murphy, so his job is to make sure that Murphy doesn't have any influence in this final term around the contest. He was outstanding for Carlton in the third quarter.
Cruiser and Grundy. Wiley came charging in. Ball spills back in his direction too, then threw it out. Simpson. Scharenberg took him down with the help of Elliott. Out of the congestion, the ball is one up towards half forward from Swan. Paddled forward by Grundy. Now Simpson outside the 50.
High, hard, brilliant. Casbolt floated in, went back with the flight, had a look at what was in front of him and didn't get flustered. His hands have been terrific for a long time. How will his foot be when it's really required? This to make it just 3 points.
That is just a great mark. I mean, his eyes were on the ball all the way, going back into that traffic. You're never sure what's coming the other way. I'll tell you what, though, if you do bump into this bloke mid-air, you're probably going to come off second best.
So the Blues fans hold their breath as Levi approaches this for his second. Straight through the middle. Game on at the MCG. 2 for the afternoon. 1 baby overnight. Already the reverse Cobra. And suddenly the Blues within touching distance. They've kicked the last 4 of the afternoon.
And he'll be feeling pretty good about himself, and so too with Carlton. That bloke on screen there now, Nathan Buckley's got some real concerns. When they would have pulled every component of their game apart over the last 5 or 6 weeks, now he has to trust the players that they can get the job done. This is that slightly changed goal-kicking style. There's a reaction. He's happy with the way that went through.
Back-to-back losses to Melbourne and Carlton. That spells trouble for the coach. I don't think in the short term, but gee, he'll be under pressure. Losses not expected. Now free kick is going to Scharenberg, taken high. Loping sort of player. Not unlike Pendlebury. Not suggesting he's the player Pendlebury is. He's been terrific this afternoon, but there's a free kick to Langdon on the outer side against Oakhurst. So Collingwood desperate for the next goal. They lead by 3 and a long way from home. Looks inside the forward 50. Moore under the ball. Great judgment by Rowe. Just edged Moore where Moore didn't want to go. Put up the arms then Rowe and took the mark. Carlton have stuck around. Can they get the 4 points? Kick comes out now, push in the back. It'll be a free kick to Henderson. Advantages paid. Bell's got the football to a contest. Casbolt goes back hard. Frost tries to punch it away. Bounces inadvertently off the back of Casbolt. Chance for Sinclair. Little 1-2 with Tuvey. Down the line by Sinclair. Well controlled. Found Swan. Sweeping hand pass inside. Tuvey.
Well, he's looking for Fasolo. He's manhandled. Umpire lets it roll. Blair takes the clean grab quickly over the top. He's got a leading Elliott.
Buckley is pleading with the umpire. A lot of work was done off the ball before that ball arrived. He went to ground, and that's exactly what he's saying to the umpire. He interfered with me a long way off the ball. And that's all he needed. 2 metres on him.
And tip of the hat to Sinclair's ball to Swan. Had to be cute and perfect, and was. Ball moved on quickly. Elliott suddenly an opportunity to extend the Pies lead. 4 in a row to the Blues. How's the response? No problem. Back out to 9 points the Pies. Well, they needed that. They had led by 29 points, and then Murphy, Everett, a couple, and Casbolt made things uncomfortable for Pies fans. Elliott, he has been electric forward in recent years, not so in the last month or so, but he has been called upon, and he gets his second of the afternoon. 8 gone, final term, still a lot of twists and turns.
Rob Harvey talked about that at three-quarter time, about they've got the firepower up there. They just needed to get enough supply down there for them to be able to kick a winning score.
Cruiser marginally knocks it wide. Once again, Cripps inside the forward 50. Bell didn't go as hard as Tuvey did. Knocks it wide. Langdon upended and a strong tackle. Didn't go Smith at close quarters. Fires it to Simpson. Got boot to ball. Diving in Greenwood. Coming over the top. Cruiser will get a whistle. Just get the feeling every time Collingwood have felt comfortable, and Grundy isn't feeling that way at the moment, they've taken their foot off the gas. Grundy hooks it down, almost condemned by their own actions here. Suddenly they've gone up a notch or two. Oh, Tui in real trouble. Spills to Fasolo. Fasolo inside the forward 50 and getting back. Reid takes the mark. That was a wonderful tackle in midfield. Who was it, Tim? Sorry, Tim. Reid's got it. Fasolo's a beneficiary. The ball spilt to him. Side bottom.
I think side bottom in the middle.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was looking at Reid there thinking that was play on then. I mean, the umpire said that he didn't go off his line.
So Reid who's kicked two. It's been a good return this afternoon. Missed his first shot at goal. Doesn't miss this one. Steers it through, so they get back-to-back goals. 75 plays 60. And as I said before, they've given the feeling they've been in control for long periods this afternoon, but they just haven't sort of burnt Carlton off. And Carlton, give them their due, are used to being burnt off, so they'll probably go quietly into the afternoon.
Well, they've been waiting a long time for this bloke to come back into the side. Hasn't been outstanding, but he's been serviceable. 3 goals, tidy effort.
He would have been nervous overnight. Terrific return. So too Jonathan Marsh. He's been really, really good. Cripps, penetrating ball inside 50. Walker's been quiet. He's taken a mark just when it is required for the Blues. Now he needs to go back and kick the goal. So this will be his 10th disposal, 4th mark. Can he kick his first goal? Long ball, this time from Buckley. Has it got the journey? Quick response, back to 9 points. Walker not comfortable. Buckley lurked and he demanded the football, the youngster, and did a good job of it.
Yeah, I don't think Walker will be feeling the heat out there. He hasn't played a lot of senior footy this year. Came back to the side. He's been trying to find his legs at both ends of the ground and probably just thinking that's outside his distance. And Buckley goes smart enough to get a bit of momentum up as well with that kick. So he's had his hands full in the defensive part of the ground too.
So we're back to 9 points. He's a lively customer, Buckley. There's something about him. Good competitor. Greenwood paddles it. Varco picks it up. No chance for Langdon. Takes something off the kick, and Swan belatedly. Buckley got there and whacked him. And it's going to be 50. Now, not a lot of malice in that, but I think it was a forlorn hope to get to the footy. He probably knew that. Little old school there.
Yeah. Unnecessary though in the end.
Yeah.
What a pick up that was by Varco in the centre of the ground there, Dennis, too.
So Swan puts it through. That's handy. He's got 2.
So 36 and 32 for Pendlebury and Swan. We spoke about it earlier. I mean, they are together, a formidable combination. And again, with Swan entering his twilight years, but still able to outwork his younger opponents, and Pendlebury in his prime, magnificent.
Well, there's a 50-metre penalty there. Buckley just a bit of a tickle behind the ear.
So the Blues kicked 4 in a row, got it back to 3 points. The Pies have got now 3 of the last 4. The Blues need to answer. Cripps, he's been getting a lot of the football this afternoon. Smith, well, Everett, who's had a terrific afternoon, not chosen. Henderson couldn't control it. and everything needs to go right now for the Blues. 3 goals at least.
He's had 9 clearances, Cripps, this afternoon. He's outstanding.
This game easier and easier, isn't he, each week? Looking more and more comfortable. Wiley comes crashing through. Curnow, little under Holman, gets it back. Curnow, well done, Swan. Kicked a goal moments ago. This time doing the smothering, defending and giving. Varco, wonderful. Puts Scharenberg into a bit of space. Looks further afield. The young South Australian on the left, inside, back to the youngster. And now he's got a few options. Long ball. Well, how does Moore handle the situation? Just doubles back. Smith will get there first. A fumble. Moore, or maybe not quite Tui. Here's a chance. Crisp. He kicks the goal. Fumble, fumble, goal. And that might be the straw that breaks the Blues back. 21 points after it was 3 not so long ago.
That all started half-back, though, from that stoppage. And, you know, Rob Harvey, speaking to Woosher at 3/4 time, he said that that's where they'd load their colours in the 3rd quarter around the stoppages. They're able to actually win the ball, and then they broke so freely from there to be able to create that scoring opportunity. But Smith should have gobbled that up. Well, that's after the fumble from Smith there, and he's still on his hands and knees in the background there.
Well, Carlton got to within 3 points. Now it's back out to 21.
Again.
Cripps again, been terrific. 30 possessions now for him. 10 clearances. That goes Bell. Boakhurst inside the 50. Launches on goal. He's wide of the mark and a behind. Well, you've got to say in this term, Cripps has been dynamic. And Collingwood mounting most of their attacks initially from half back.
Yeah. And that's been one of the problems all afternoon for Carlton, is their inability to be able to find those players in attack when they've gone forward. There's Cripps again.
Simpson hemmed in, did well. Back inside is Cripps. He's been terrific. Took a long time, got caught.
Straight through. You going through? Stay.
Out of the last 9 scores have been goals up until that last point. So 8 goals in a row before the Boakhurst miss. Blair will get the free kick, and Collingwood looking like they might break a horrid run of losses. But still plenty of time. More than half of the last term remains. Blair looked inboard, thought better of it, to a pack on the wing. Big fly was Cruiser. Swan. Well, Murphy was in his back. Pies fans want a free kick, won't get it. And then Carazzo threads it through, might get it back from Smith, does. Runs into a bit of trouble and runs out of trouble. Over the top, kick was terrific. Doherty saw him. Well, Doherty misses the target. Murphy again has to clean up. Within 50, long ball, low ball, beautiful ball. Back to 14 again. Well done, skipper.
Fans are unforgiving, aren't they? Collingwood fans are booing Murphy every time he gets hold of the ball because he was given a couple of free kicks at different stages this afternoon. That's all it is. Gosh. That's a great finish from him, though. He's been an outstanding contributor this afternoon.
We were talking before about the good players shining this afternoon. The stats back that up. Pendlebury 34, Swan 37, Murphy 32, Cripps 31.
Again, that first handball missed, but they just had the numbers overlapping then, and a fine finish from Murphy. Again.
Murphy kicked the last. Cruises out of the middle. Long ball, not quite. Tuvia fumble. Carazzo back inside. Boakhurst let it go when he needed to hold on. He got set upon, and he's going nowhere. Wouldn't that have been nice?
Have a look at this. It was Cripps again out of the centre of the ground. He's had 9 clearances in this second half.
Well, here comes Wiley over the top. Chance for the Blues, maybe. They're within striking distance. Just 14 points and 9 minutes and change remaining. Murphy got the last after 4 of the last 5 to the Pies. The last 10 scores, 9 goals won between these two sides.
Grundy wins it down. Carazzo. Smith stumbles. Murphy again brilliantly done. Weight of numbers told the story. Down he went eventually. Tuvey nowhere to go. And we'll get a ball up. So Collingwood getting that breathing space and then conceding a goal. It's been the tempo of the day.
That's that handball from Cripps just over the top again to release Murphy. He's been unbelievable in this second half, Cripps.
Wiley came strongly, knocked it down. Crisp fell over. Swan stood his ground.
Dennis, just getting back to Cripps, in this second half, he's had 9 clearances. Collingwood has had 11 collectively in the second half.
Been terrific. Something to hang their hat on. Still, they could win the game as well, thanks to his good work. Crisp trying to walk it out of there. Cruiser going with him. Got 2 guys in the horse suit. There's a chance for Simpson, runs to 50, and he kicks it across the front of goal. Going back is Walker, stripped of it by Maynard, well played. Flicks it to Frost, still alive, ball off the ground, Walker. And he kicks it behind.
And you talk about the Cripps 6 or 8 weeks. No Gibbs, no Judd, and he's been forced to do remarkable things, and he's been able to do what his coaches have asked of him.
The other part of his game that I've been really impressed with today has been his follow-up. It's not just his ability to win the ball around the stoppages, but he's actually been able to follow his play up. But he's going to get better in that area too as he gets stronger and his endurance base increases.
Scharenberg saw Varco, fed it to him where he wanted it to be, ends up with Greenwood, pulls the kick, takes a bit off it. You heard the umpire play on. Langdon just seems to be flustered. Now Maynard driving ball to half forward for Solar, who's been big all afternoon. Rowe got hit. The Blues, here's an opportunity to rebound. 8 minutes to play. They need to find 3 goals or maybe 2 and some behinds, but it's Tui at the moment trying to set them alight.
Ample time for the Blues to win then. Tui from half back. Guess who? Cripps. He's run himself ragged, and Collingwood in the process in this second half. Centering ball, Boakhurst made to earn it. Too much, says the umpire. And so it'll be 50.
I reckon that one's at the margin.
Now, I think you still got him
The ball hung in the air a long time. Yeah, I would have given Langdon the benefit of the doubt then.
Boakhurst really feeling the effects there. Cramping up as well. That wasn't the real problem. It was body on body. He was the man in front. Hard to win that battle. He's kicked 2-8 for the year, so that's pretty wasteful. He hasn't had a bigger kick than this one. If Carlton get a goal here, they'll trail by 7. But history says perhaps they won't. 2-8. I've seen him miss a couple of reasonably straightforward kicks this year. This one, though, is straight. He puts it through. 80 plays 87.
Den brought up his inaccuracy. I guess it starts to play on your mind, but that is an important goal for the youngster in his first year at the club. Big moment, big goal. Back to 7 points.
Cripps has been off for probably the last minute and a half. He's just come back on the ground now. He's going into this centre bounce now. Collingwood, given the fact that he's been the dominant player at these stoppages, I'm just going to see what they actually do to try and nullify him.
Don't give one away. Look it. Collingwood free kick from the centre. Collingwood free kick.
Well, can you believe after all the hard work and all the good work, a gift in the middle of the ground? Maynard fell, Grundy free kick.
And the setup for Cripps at the centre bounce.
That's right. He owns that.
8 touches so far, 6 clearances in this term, Cripps. The Pies happy just to bring it wide. We're back to 7 points. Was 29 in favour of the Pies. They've kicked the last couple through Murphy and Boakhurst. And with 7.5 minutes to play, there are nervous fans all around this ground and indeed around Australia. The Pies, 6 losses in a row. The Blues, a torrid season. John Barker in game 10 trying to make it 3 wins. Here's the skipper, Pendlebury. Long, low for Solo. He just throws it back in. A chance off the ground. Reed. Bottom corner. I think so. Review coming.
I believe it's a goal. I just want to see if it was touched on the line.
Score review. Umpire's call.
That's a touch of genius.
Can we see whether it was touched on the way through on the line?
Review underway.
No, it didn't go at the first. I had a good view of that one, mate. Why was the forward allowed to hold me from getting to it? I'm going to go. You both held me.
Review completed. Confirmed goal.
All clear.
Nice return for Reid. He's had some sort of an afternoon. 4 goals won in game 100. 101 watching on since he debuted. A torrid run, battling his own body. Today he's battled the Blues. Smart finish.
Great work from Pendlebury out of the stoppage. Just see the work here by Fasolo. There it is. How did he actually give the ball back into play then? It was like a shuffle with his 2 hands, wasn't it? I'm not sure it was a handball.
It was a little bit of a tunnel ball. The Blues fans weren't overly wrapped with the call there, but look, got to be effective. Got the goal through, and Reed's had a fantastic comeback.
Grundy on the way down, stolen by Cruiser, hurriedly towards half forward, reaching over the top. Brown hitting it hard. Everett has a long shot at goal and sprays it harmlessly out of bounds on the full in the right full forward pocket.
Dennis, just watch this Fasolo thing again. This is right on the goal line. There's the attempt. I mean, that's courageous in itself, but how did he get the ball back to Reid? Just watch this. Was that a handball or a throw?
It was a gift.
I'm saying it's a throw.
I'm ticking throw.
That's unanimous.
Kick outside the 50 as Collingwood clear the zone. Blair close to the boundary line. Maynard tracks it. They stay off Blair. Gives it to Turvey on the burst. He goes down towards half forward. Pitches in front of Rowe and Reid. Rowe in front. Reid tracks him back. Rowe in trouble. Gets a hand pass away close to the boundary. And it spills off Buckley and goes out of bounds. The last Collingwood player to kick 4 goals in his 100th game, Sab Rocker, back in 1997. So Reid's wait, well worth it.
An outstanding afternoon. It would have been anxious times early. Missed his first shot at goal, but he's been terrific since then, and that an important one. Back to 13 points. 4-1 for the afternoon, as does have Alex Fasolo, who set the goal up for him. So the Peter Mac Cup on the line, and the Pies right now in a reasonable spot after being challenged all afternoon by the Blues. Tumbling ball, first man there, just knocking it forward. Greenwood. Bell gets hold of the football, drives it inside 50. Who's at home for the Blues? Casbolt front spot. Whistle.
Tell you how much respect Collingwood are paying to Cripps now. Pendlebury is actually going to him at the stoppages.
The ultimate respect.
That is the ultimate respect.
Well, Walker, he has been a sharp shooter over the journey. How does he handle the moment here? This to make it 7 points again. Just when the Pies think they're in a good spot, the Blues find a way. Walker on return. Not as he would have liked. Desperate stuff on the last line. Henderson, he pleads. Goal umpire.
There's another angle on the Fasolo goal line shuffle. Oh, that's definitely this one. Does that come into
the replay?
In the replay, yeah, when they review it, is that part of it or not?
Oh, another layer. Oh, gee, we'd be here all night, day, whatever. Free kick to Crisp. He's at half back, just over 5 minutes remaining. 12 points the difference. Crisp down towards half forward. Fasolo launches himself, did well, got it on the ground. No way through for Tui. Fasolo, strong tackle. Doherty knocked it clear. Murphy tackled by Elliott, and they wrestle each other down. And we'll have a ball up. Murphy, 33 possessions. Cripps has equalled his career high, 33. Cruiser from behind, beaten by Grundy this time, to the advantage of Blair. Tackled by Buckley. Falls free to Swan. Hand passes in front, goes after it. Now flings it out towards Greenwood. Shrugs free. Hand passes to Blair. Open goal. Beckons, and he puts it through. That should just about do it. Margin 18 points now. And Blair, not a lot of the football, although by his standards, 21 possessions is high. It's been more the hard work, though, that's been impressive. Inside, battling, conceding nothing.
7 times they've gone inside their attacking 50 in the final quarter, Collingwood. They've scored 6 goals, so like 2 big wildebeests trying to bring down. The first it was Swanee, or 3. Then Greenwood And in the end, it was Blair that just finished the good work off.
Remarkable efficiency. 6 straight from 7 inside 50s in this last term for the Pies. Sinclair at halfback, side bottom. Here's Scharenberg in game 2. Feeds the ball in the Billy Elliott direction. Oh, for a small man, he's got an extraordinary leap and a wonderful set of hands.
This has been an entertaining quarter of footy too, hasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saved the best to last, these two teams.
Yep.
11 goals between them in this final term. And just when the Pies start to edge ahead, the Blues find a way, but time the enemy now. 3-goal ball game, 4 minutes to play. Sinclair waits the kick. At half-forward it will land. Well done. In the end it was Cripps who has had an enormous term, not quite able to complete it. Well, Blair will kick from about 55. Kick the last, his first of the afternoon, and importantly for Collingwood, he'll be able to eat up a fair bit of the clock.
On his distance here, I would have thought, he's going to have to kick this probably 50, 55 to go the distance.
He's sense happy to take 27 or 20 seconds off the clock. And then just put it to a dangerous spot. Swan is there, and Swan is the man.
Are we going to say that he picked out that one-on-one contest? It was a half kick, wasn't it? I mean, he pulled the kick.
Yeah.
We know that Swan is one of the best one-on-one players in the competition. And then just completely did Dylan Buckley there for strength.
The 13th time he'll have 40 or more in a game, and importantly, he'll be able to seal the deal for the Pies, and he does.
I mean, that just rolls off your tongue, Hammer, that he's had 40 or more, but it's just an extraordinary performance, isn't it, from somebody over a long period of time at the highest level the game's played.
One of the greats of the modern era.
Absolutely.
Probably doesn't get his due.
There's an expectation, like a 30 disposal game for him is just a below average game almost. You had those two blokes together, Dennis. They've had just about a monopoly on this ball this afternoon.
Yep. Pendlebury 36, 40 to Swan.
You talk about consistency. Up until last year, Swan 5 All-Australians in a row, and Pendlebury hasn't missed for 5 years either.
Next best is Langdon with 27. That's interesting too in its way. They've defended quite a bit this afternoon. Boakhurst. Now Tui away, has a bounce, runs it down towards half forward. Smith had his back turned for the hand pass. Bounces obligingly for Casbolt. He was taken down. Pendlebury, that was clever, just locked the ball in, and they'll get a ball up.
Good job, boys.
Thank you. Scott Pendlebury. Interesting, I'm doing some research, Tim. Scott Pendlebury barracked for Melbourne growing up. The guys that have barracked for Melbourne is most impressive as the ball goes down towards full forward. After it goes Henderson deep in the pocket. No one to give it to except Smith, who appeared to be out of bounds. Bell's got it now, upended. Collingwood players around the footy. Scharenberg still has it. Could have been taken high. Eventually gets a hand pass away. Murphy out of one's grasp but into another man's arms. Bell in the opposite direction is Tuvey. We've got a whistle and a ball up. So just over 2 minutes to go. Just going back to the digression I was making. Just imagine if they had a Father Barracker rule. There was Chris Judd, Buddy Franklin, Scott Pendlebury, Andrew Gaff. They all barracked for Melbourne during a bad era. What the heck? Jamison inside the forward 50. Hardly worth waiting for. The ball goes out of bounds in the pocket.
No, that was worth waiting for.
The best has been saved to last.
Just watching Scharenberg. I'm not sure who he grew up barracking for, but he's been impressive. First season was a horror story, foot operation and then an ACL in his 5th game of VFL. His 2nd game this afternoon. He's done it well. He's just over the ball now, tackling Boakhurst. He gets a hurried kick away. Murphy shadowed by Pendlebury. But to your point earlier about Scharenberg, he moves a little like Pendlebury.
He does. Yeah, no, he does. He's going to be an outstanding player. They had high hopes for him coming into this season, but he's had a horror stretch of injuries again.
Pies by 24. Cripps, he's been magnificent. Swan too, just kicked the ball into Murphy's belly. He stays with the ball there, but with Pies on top of him. Matches to come. Well, nothing easy really next coming weeks for Collingwood. Sydney, Richmond, the Cats at the G, and Essendon to finish on the Sunday. And for the Blues, well, everything at the moment is a tough old grind as Cruiser wants Boakhurst. Brilliant stuff to Murphy. A little shuffle. Ball back inside off the outside of the boot. Now side bottom takes on Henderson. Crashing into each other. It'll go nowhere, but clever stuff from Boakhurst, and it could have been one of the goals of the year. Murphy, they ran into trouble.
Reason to be sore. Tried so hard this afternoon. Has been brilliant on occasions. Brown, Swan, time the release. Scharenberg diving in as Smith. And the umpire, I think, will blow it up. No, there's still life in that pack. Down goes Bell.
I think, one of the other positives for Carlton, Boakhurst, I think the more I see of him, the more he plays, the better he's going to be. I think he's an AFL player.
Cruiser hooks it down. Cripps again. Brilliant. Got the arms free. Murphy, no time. Grundy nabbed him. It's going to be a free kick to Williams as the clock is inside the last minute. Hard-fought victory for the Magpies. And looking at... Oh, that's lazy. Terrible. Williams trying to make amends as the kick rebounded back in his direction. Brown hammering away in there. And the umpire calls for it. And Cripps popped one on the shoulder, just a stinger, I think. Nothing. Well, it's going to be a free kick, is it, to Carlton? Is that what he's saying? Yes. Wiley's getting it. So the umpire didn't buy all that hammering by Brown.
Yeah, but did you see this bit? That's what behind there.
9 seconds.
Doesn't come out and he's dragged it in, mate.
So many conversations these days. I suppose in the old days the players weren't mic'd up, so we never knew, but I'm sure it went on. And Wiley, after the siren, Collingwood will win. It's a question of by how much. Kick is on the way, and through it goes. 18 points will be the margin. Collingwood 105, Carlton 87, 69-13-9. The Magpies break a long drought.
Go downstairs. Andrew Welsh is with the comeback kid, and what a comeback it was. 4 goals, 1 for Ben Reid.
Well, Reedy, 357 days since you last played an AFL game. It must be amazing to be back